Hello all. In this video, I want to introduce you to another way of validating numeric data. What we've been doing up to this point, as you know, is we've been using in our validation this function called isNumeric. And let's get into our code here. I'm going to use Bob's Pretzels as our example here again, and the modularized Bob Pretzels that we did from assignment 11. Okay, and so with this said, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this, and you see when we check for numeric values, we want to ensure that we're validating for, in this case, if it's numeric or not. Okay, this actually checks to see if it's existing and if it's a numeric. IsNumeric is a wonderful little function here that we can actually use. However, it's one that it's not used very often in the industry, and it's not used in any other programming language. So what I want to do is, now that you understand what isNumeric's doing, I sort of want to show you, or I want to show you, I should say, how we actually do it in industry. Okay, we don't use isNumeric. It's actually not supported, or was Microsoft threatened not to support it anymore. I don't know if that's ever going to happen or not. But there's another way of doing this that you will see in other programming languages as you take them in your advanced courses, and you will also see in industry. It's actually fairly simple, and I'm going to kind of write it here and show you what the differences are. It's called TryParse. All right, let's see if you can stay with me on this. So so what we're going to do here in this particular case is we're going to do this thing. I'm going to write this out first. I'm going to explain it. And txt pretzels dot text, whoops, pretzels, there they are, keep down, there you go, pretzels dot text, comma, int pretzels. And this little piece of code does the exact same thing, I'm going to take these two out now, as what was done before. And what this is doing is this. It's saying, I'm going to take whatever the user gave me in my txt pretzels.txt, okay, and I'm going to try to parse it. I don't, what's parsing mean? I guess break it down, convert it is what we're trying to do. So I'm going to try to convert it, whatever it was, to whatever type of data type we want it to be. If we want to parse it as a double, we can do that. Meaning if our input could be decimals and so on, we could do that. Whatever you want to put here has to be one of the valid data types, okay? But in this case, for Bob's Pretzels, it needs to be an integer. So I'm going to take whatever the user gave me in my control. I'm going to try to convert it, aka parse it, as an integer. If it can work, if it can do so, it will then move it to whatever after the comma here, which is my variable, int pretzels. And as you can see, everything after that remains the same. Nothing really changes. Basically what we did here is this piece right here, okay, has been converted or changed from, I should say, if isNumeric, and if it is, then move it to my variable. You might say, well, what's the big deal? Why do we got to do this? Well, once again, it's really no big deal, and you really don't have to do this. If you want to stick with isNumeric, that's perfectly fine. However, isNumeric is an older way of doing this, okay? And meaning validating for numerics. It's not supported that much in the industry, and it's not used in any other language. So thus, I find it important in this course, especially in the later part of this course, to introduce to you how it is used and what we actually do. And in this case, it's TryParse. Some of you might be asking, well, why didn't you just show us this to begin with? For some strange reason, when I showed TryParse initially in our validation lectures, many students are very confused. They don't quite understand what TryParse is trying to do. So when we switched it around in this course and we said, well, okay, let's just introduce it as isNumeric. It's very English-like and makes sense. But then come back and show you what TryParse actually is, okay? And again, you'll see this in many other languages as you move on, and that's what it's there for. So what I would like for you to do from now on is use TryParse versus isNumeric. And if you do that, you're caught up and you're relevant and you're state of the art and everything associated with that when it comes to programming, all right? So TryParse. Give it a shot. Make sure you understand it. If you have any questions, contact your instructor.